Hey everybody, I'm Sid the Casual Gamer, and welcome to another update video just about life, the channel, what's going on, it's been an interesting month, the month of September, and now we're halfway through October already. I mean, time's just flying by, dude. It's weird, but there's been a little bit of changes, and I think it'd be kind of cool to share that with you guys. So, I guess let's just start off with the channel. Humankind is a fun game for me. I really enjoy making videos for it. I have enjoyed partaking in the community. I think this is probably, the Humankind community is probably one of the, like, if I was to pick someone random out of it, they feel generally nicer, more open to opinions than, say, other communities I've been a part of, like Rainbow Six Siege. Oh my god. No, Rainbow Six Siege. The few of you that are still around the channel are the good ones from Rainbow Six Siege, but we all know there's a lot of bad ones from Siege. Oblivion's community was actually really good too. Age of Empires 3 was toxic. Kerbal Space Program was pretty good. But yeah, Humankind just seems to be, like, out of all the strategy games that I've played, seen, been a part of with communities, it just seems like the nicest community. And I don't know why. Probably because it's small and the game hasn't been out a while. So there's that guy that's like, I've had 1,000 hours. I am the correct one. You don't know how to play Humankind. I do. We don't have any of those yet. Eventually they're going to come. But I've been enjoying making videos and I've been enjoying playing the game. And I think it shows in the videos. I noticed that I am naturally, like, I don't have to sit and tell myself to put more effort into Humankind videos. I just do it, And I'm one of those people where starting things is, like, the hardest part for me. Like, if I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like video editing today, and, like, I sit down within, like, a couple minutes, I'm just like, bro, I got a video edit all day. Like, cancel everything. We're doing a 16-hour grind. It never ends up being 16 hours, but I'm like, that's my mind. It's like, 16-hour grind. Let's go, baby. And then I kind of get in the flow of adding things. But there's always been, I don't know what to call it, but like a quality ceiling for me. That's not even like something that is like encompasses it. More like a amount of editing ceiling, where a lot of videos I make, I've been trying to upload them every single day, which is hard to do. And I'm like, okay, I will, like, edit a video and I'll, like, once it's at a certain point, I must post it the next day. So I'm not going to add any more editing. I'm not going to re-record parts. I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm just going to, okay, it's good enough. Let's post it. And that works for the beginning of a YouTube channel, or like the beginning of, your YouTube journey, if you will. And I'm not at that stage anymore. Oh my god, the sun's coming out. I'm not at that stage anymore. And I think I haven't been at that stage for a while. I really don't think I have, where it's kind of like, god damn, now it looks depressing in my room. Fuck it, we're leaving it alone. I haven't been at that beginner stage, like super beginner stage, for a while. I should have been focusing on not just like putting content out over and over and over again, because it's not helping me anymore. I've learned a lot of what you can learn from that. So I'm at the kind of second stage where I noticed with Humankind, I'm focusing on audience retention. That's like the only analytic I fucking care about with this content, guys. I literally look at, I'm looking at Humankind videos, right? And I'm like, okay, obviously they're getting less views than, I don't know, something like Call of Duty or Splitgate. And that's because the community is smaller, right? But the audience retention rate is going up, which, if you don't know what that is in YouTube, it is the average time a person sits on a video, right? So let's say you have a 10-minute video and the average person sits through 5 minutes of it. That is a 50% audience retention rate, which is really, really, really good. Something like 50, 60, 75% is, I believe, what a lot of the top YouTubers have. Like, that's one of the being a top YouTuber type of like prerequisites that you should have. And I've been focusing a lot on my intros of my videos, flexing my creative bones by putting together small skits. And I've been experimenting with thumbnails, and it's been really good. I've kind of like gotten out of my creative shell, if you will. I was in this shell of like things need to be a certain way, and I've kind of gotten out of it, and it's been helping me, you know. I've also started posting my videos on Reddit, and a lot of my traffic right now is coming from Reddit. About 50 to 60% of my views on Humankind videos. I don't post the shorts because it's kind of spammy on Reddit. YouTube, it's fine, but Reddit, it gets spammy if you just post like shorts. But I would say about 50 to 60% of the views that come onto my longer videos are from Reddit. And the community there is actually surprisingly not toxic. Not as toxic as you'd expect. You know, of course, you still have the fucking dirt bags of Reddit, but the overall community is really nice. And so it's just been really fun. Like, the TLDR is I'm having more fun, you know? And another thing about audience retention percentage is it is one of the few metrics that, I'm going to keep talking while I light this up, one of the few metrics that you have that tells you how good of a YouTube creator you are, you know? Because you might think, oh, views and subscribers matter, right? Not quite the case, because a Call of Duty YouTuber is going to have a lot more subscribers and a lot more views than a YouTuber that focuses on creating your own window washing business, or someone who focuses on growing plants in Russia. Actually, never mind that. I could see someone who grows plants in like Siberia, dude, that person would get really popular, you know? But most of the time, views and subscribers, it's impossible to gauge how good of a creator you are based on views and subscribers, because each community, it has a different amount of people that are active and watch that stuff, and people rotate in and out all the time, you know? Like, think of PewDiePie. I bet a lot of PewDiePie's subscribers are actually people's seconds accounts that they don't access anymore, dead subscribers, literally dead subscribers, like people that are old or have died, you know? It's kind of morbid. Weird thought for this update video. You know, stuff like that. Or someone lost their password, so they made another account, you know? There's probably a good, because he's been around a while, right? And how do you gauge how, like, the maximum number of people that would subscribe to PewDiePie? How do you figure that out? You don't, you know? But audience retention shows how long the average person sits through your video. That is something that is very tangible. Something that is very, very, like, okay, this video made people sit through 30% of it. Cool. This one only did 5%. I messed up, you know? And so I really, like, that's the one where if I ever want or feel the need to figure out if my video editing is good or if I need to change things, that's the only analytic I really look at right now. That and click-through rate of impressions. That's another one. But anyways, that's the YouTube side of things. DoorDash has been going all right. I got Instacart in my town now too, and using both of those has been helping me, because DoorDash and Instacart, if you only use one of those apps, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Lyft, you know, if you only use one, you're probably going to make less than minimum wage. If you use multiple apps, you have a good chance of actually making a living off of those apps, minus, if you live in the US, minus the healthcare. It's a weird system. It sucks. But I've been using my free time to listen to YouTube tips videos, because I've noticed that there's a lot of, like, best practices on YouTube, little things that you really should make sure you do that I just have not been doing. And it sucks because, you know, I've spent a lot of time on this YouTube channel. I've probably spent, my guess is 5,000 hours on the entirety of this YouTube channel, right? If you include streams, editing, thumbnails, research, all the jazz, you know? And I think that, you know, being such a young person, I'm only 22 right now. I started this channel when I was 16, man. And I've been really good at putting in hours, you know, working hard. For the most part, I've been good at that. But figuring out what exactly to work on has always been a little bit of a challenge for me with YouTube. Other things, I for some reason I can just figure it out, but YouTube specifically is one of those things where I just have a hard time figuring out what I need to work on, and I'm starting to get in that groove. I use the DoorDash time, downtime to, look at analytics, figure stuff out, write scripts, go over scripts. If I'm sitting in my car, I'll watch YouTube video like thumbnail tips, editing tips. I have a notebook in my car that I write notes in, and it definitely makes working easier because I know that when I DoorDash, at least I'm going to get something else done besides just I'm trading time for money. And I think it's going to help out the channel a lot in the long term. I always tell people whenever you start making videos for a brand new game, always start with 100 videos. Shorts, I came up with that advice based on like a bunch of other people. It's not my original advice, and it was before shorts were invented. But I always say, before you worry about am I picking the right ideas? Am I, being the best that I can? Am I reaching the right audience? It usually takes me about 100 videos on a particular game to actually figure out what the audience wants to watch. Do I enjoy making videos for this game? What am I good at? What am I bad at? All the things that kind of go into like level 2 of making YouTube videos. Actually, that's more like level 2. So the things that go into making level 3 type YouTube videos, I gotta make 100, and I have not made 100 Humankind videos yet. So I'm not even stressing, guys. I'm really not. Like the fact that shut the fuck up, phone. A lot of my videos are already getting like 50 to 100 views, and some of the shorts have hundreds of views. Some have over 1,000 views. That's awesome. That's really cool to me. That this game that just came out and I can already do that. Like, that's crazy to me. So, and I'm really happy that actually a lot of you guys from the past, Oblivion videos, Siege, all that have stuck around and just talked to me because I don't know. I feel like I'm less worried. I'm just getting less and less worried about like the YouTube money or the views or the subscribers. I just of course, I go through bouts where I actually really care about it, but I always come out of it even less worried about it, and it ends up benefiting me positively, And a part of that is because there's some of you guys that when you comment, if your subscriptions are public, I can actually see how long you have been subscribed to my channel for. And some of you have been subscribed for multiple years that still comment. There's probably a lot of you that are just ghost viewers right now that, watch my stuff but never ever comment, which I'm like that for like 99% of the channels I follow. They don't I never comment. I actually do never comment on viewed videos. It's kind of funny. But, there's a lot of you that I know that are out there that have been sticking around for all these years, and it's cool to see that people actually would do that for me. It's always, you can watch and see it happen, and that you do it. Like Markiplier, I've been a fan of Markiplier forever. But when someone does it to you, it's different. It's pretty cool. And the last thing I want to touch up on, by the way, my nose is stuffy. It's always stuffy in the mornings. I don't know why I film in the mornings. It's so dumb. But the last thing I want to talk about is I've started video editing again, and I've met some really cool people. I started filtering, before when I started video editing, if I saw a job that I could do, I would take it. Now I'm a lot more selective, I would say, of people I edit for, usually if someone is very inexperienced, I don't work with them because I know that, maybe there's a higher chance they're not going to be committed to YouTube. Like most of my editing is for YouTube. There's a higher chance that they don't actually know what's going on, so that the footage I work with is, because they're brand new, is so amateur. I'm going to say that not as it's just a description word. It's not like a shot at anybody, right? But the footage I work with is shot by a complete noob or an amateur, that it makes editing it harder for me because I know the kinds of edits that I want to do and I just can't do them with that footage. I can, but it looks awkward. It looks like you took like a golden puzzle piece and like put it together with a bronze puzzle piece and said, "Look, it's shiny." You know, and then you're looking at it, you're like, "What the heck? Like what?" Like you just like don't know what to think about it, you know? So I've been very selective, and it's honestly put me with people that are easier for me to work with, you know? And they, you know, it's easier for them to work with me. I've already got, you know, I've probably met in between like 5 to 10 people that are like really cool, and I'm like, bro, these people are cool. Whereas before, I'd probably meet like 1 to 3 people I meet. I was like, this person's cool. I want to keep working with them. And the other ones were, I was just like, nah, I don't want to work with you. Like, I'm just doing it for the money. Like, I really don't like your content. I really think my skills are wasted here, you know. And I've also gotten better at explaining to people, because the hardest thing for me when I first did, you know, video editing work was explain to people my experience, right? Like, how do you explain to someone, hey, my YouTube channel has not exploded yet, and I'm not, you know, making a full-time income on it, but I've been doing it for 6 years. I have 2,000, or is it 2.5 thousand? I have 2 to 3,000 public videos on this channel. I've made lots of videos for other people, and like how do you explain that? You know, and it's difficult to figure it out. And I'm still figuring. I don't know how to explain it, you know, in a way that makes people understand. You just I kind of luck of the draw with it, and it's Twitter, so it's already luck of the draw, you know. But it's been going really good, and I hope that maybe I can replace DoorDash with video editing, because unlike a normal job, you know, I think DoorDash for the majority of people, I actually think is not the right play. But in a circumstance like mine, where you actually you really use the flexibility of DoorDash, where you're like, I really only have to work X amount of hours this week with DoorDash, and you make sure you actually only work X amount of hours, you know, and you're always doing something with your off time. Like, DoorDash is really just a thing in the background that you're doing while you're actually thinking about, you know, for me, it's my YouTube channel, but maybe for other people, it's like a business or something like that. I feel like there's a minority of people that DoorDash helps, and I'm one of those people. It's weird to say, you know, but I think it helps me, you know, because also freelancing is something that can be really inconsistent. It is not for everyone, because it is one of the most inconsistent things in the world, especially when you are just getting started and you're not working with like high level people where like you're going to get paid $10,000 for this project. You know, it's working with, hey, I just spent 7 hours talking to people, and one guy sent me a message and said he'd be down, and it's great. I earn an extra $20 a month off of, because I got this one client after 7 hours of work. It's not for everyone, you know. And I like that DoorDash isn't like a normal job. It's not like I quit Walmart and then a week later, hey, I lost all my freelancing clients. Can I come back? You know, it's like DoorDash. You just turn it on and go. I mean, you turn it off when you're done. You know, it'll always be like a plan B, if you will, to whatever I'm doing. If I, you know, this week, I lost $300. You know, $300 worth of work did not come in as expected. You know, I can just do my door dashing and get those $300 that way, you know, that I need for whatever. So yeah, that's kind of it for this video. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. I'm going to upload this raw because I've had 2 recording sessions of this, and they are both in limbo, and I'm just going to post this because I need to post it. But thank you guys for sitting and watching my stuff. It's still, even though I've been doing this for 6 years and I've posted a lot of videos on this fucking website, bro, it still is. I feel like the word magical is the right word to use here. It's still magical feeling to see that someone sat through like a whole 13-minute video that, you know, I have like 100 hours into Humankind, I think now. And I spent, you know, 30 minutes writing a script, 30 minutes recording it, 2 to 3 hours editing it. I spent an hour on the thumbnail or something like that. If something like that happens, and there's even just one person that sits and like watches the whole thing, you're like, wow, someone watched that whole thing that I put together. And or someone leaves a comment. It's still a very magical feeling. And I hope that as I continue on making YouTube videos and as I keep creating stuff, that I don't take that for granted, because I've been in a lot of positions where I myself and my work have been taken for granted. And I feel like YouTube and freelancing and all the work I do at home, you know, chores, yard work, stuff like that, those are really, and some of the other stuff I've done in the past, but really these three sections have been some of the only things that my work is not taken for granted. You know, there's only a couple of other people I would say that don't take my work for granted, but like as a whole, like I can say like I make YouTube videos, and like the majority of people say don't take my work for granted, you know. That's something cool. So anyways, I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer. I suck just as bad as you do at making videos, playing video games. I'm gonna go take some cold medicine or something, like some Zicam, and just hop back to it. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you later.